So let's go ahead and get started. And again, for those of you that are just joining in, be sure to come in and say hello in the chat so that I know you're here. I've got this screen up over here on the side. So be sure to say hello so that I know you're here. For those of you, if it is your first time here on a live, welcome. My name is Candace Spears. I am the host in this community. I am a coach to corporate women looking to make their leap into full-time entrepreneurship. I am a serial entrepreneur. I am a real estate investor, mom of 3, all that other good stuff. Wife to 1, all that other good stuff. So excited that you all are here tonight. And again, for those of you that are just joining on, be sure to come in, say hello in the chat so that I know that you're here and then I can interact with you throughout our time on this live. So in the month of April, for any of you that are new here, in the month of April, we have been talking about packing the 9-to-5 bag and all the things that you're going to want to take with you along that journey. So if you've not had a chance to look back at some of the previous lives that we did, we had a resignation letter writing party last week. The week before, I think it was all about amplifying joy, that type of thing. Very important things that you're going to want to be packing in your bag. Today, we're talking about conserving mental energy, which is going to be massively important. So we're talking about conserving mental energy. Now, here's the thing. This is a big one. So one of the things that I hear often and I get asked often is about when you're making your transition into entrepreneurship and out of the corporate world and being on your own, independently, full-time, all this stuff. How do you balance that? Especially if you are a mother or even a spouse, a partner, or whatever. How do you balance that? And it's one thing to have the physical pieces of it, right? How do I organize my day, that type of thing. But it's another thing to have the mental energy that you need to make it happen. That's a whole nother thing. So go ahead and just drop in the chat for me. If you're on your journey already, or even if you're thinking about your journey, what does your mental state feel like? Just thinking about the journey. And so let me give you a couple choices. It could either be, A, it feels chaotic. Like, how am I going to give my mental space to all these different things? It could be, B, it's under control, but I can see how it could just massively shoot off the charts. And it could be C, like, I don't know, my mental energy is always in check. Always. Maybe that's you. So A, B, or C, go ahead and drop that into the chat, all right? Because I really want you to think about this. For those of you that are in the midst of your journey, so you're actively building up and your resignation date is identified and you're moving forward, you've probably already experienced the, I need to be good over here at work, or I want to be. Those of you that are high achievers want to be good over here at work, but oh my gosh, I need to work on my business and I got to give that energy. And oh, by the way, I still got to give the energy I need to give at home. Oh my gosh, my brain is about to explode. Maybe I can't sleep at night, or thoughts keep running through my head, or whatever it is, right? Been there, so I understand. And sometimes I deal with battling my own mental energy as I continue to go and the business continues to grow. So there are a few things that I want you to think about. And I'm pretty sure, I apologize, you guys, I cannot see any comments that are coming through on the chat. So I cannot see it tonight. I don't know why. All of my social channels this hasn't been the week, right? Instagram shut down. This hasn't been the week. So I want you to take some notes though, because this is important as you go through your journey. So the first thing that you want to think about is this. From an attention standpoint, because everything is going to be demanding your attention. It's your attention at work, which has always been there. That's not really anything new, right? The deadlines or the projects or whatever, you got to be here, you got to be there. That's there, right? The attention that you have to give at home, yep, that's always been there too. But now you have this new element where you're talking about your transition and building your business. And now how do I squeeze in the mental space to now bring in this new element? So one of the questions that you're going to want to ask yourself, and do write this down, I'm telling you, write this down. So one of the questions you're going to ask yourself is, what really needs my attention? Because when you talk about paying attention, you're only going to pay so much. So ask yourself repeatedly, what really needs my attention? And let me tell you one that often trips people up. So as you're making your transition, sometimes we think, again, I'm especially talking to my high achieving ladies, and you know who you are, right? You know who you are if at work you bring yourself, like your, what is it, your 20% is everybody else's 80%. If that's, you are exactly the person I'm talking about. When we talk about paying attention, it's easy for us to say, oh, I gotta give this here at work because, the level that I give at is just not there yet. Like I have to give it at the level I give. When if you dial down some of that attention, right, bring it down a little bit, maybe not 80%, maybe bring it to 20, and that's still amazing. Now you've created that space and that mental energy to slide into the business. Because the reality is, now here's the next thing you want to pay attention to. You have to start thinking about, yes, now, but then next and later. Okay, that's very important. Now, next, and later. Because when you think about, well, I'm building this business, but right now I'm still at my job and I have these deadlines, so I got to give to this, and I got to give to this, and I got to give to this. Okay, but what's next is you're not going to be there anymore. That's the thing that you're working toward. And when you think about it, when you're not there, trust me, that job will get filled in some way. They'll find a way to make it happen. So while you have your now in your hand, you got to keep looking at what's going to be next, right? And then later, and then think about how am I dividing my attention? Because otherwise, from a mental energy standpoint, drained, I can give nothing. And if you are in a very routine place in terms of your job, and I don't know, maybe you have to be there at 9, or have to be there at 8, or maybe it's more flexible, you just come in whenever the first meeting is. Those things that are routine to you, your energy is going, right? Your mental energy is going to them. So it's going to be up to you to stop and look and say, okay, if I'm going to pay attention, where am I going to pay it? What's now? What's coming up next, though? And then what's later? And then just divide your attention that way. So does that make sense? And if it makes sense, drop a makes sense in the chat. And again, I'm sorry, I can't see the chat, which is really making me upset. But if it makes sense, go ahead and drop a makes sense in the chat. And I just want to know, because I'll come back and look at this after. I just want to know who here has been thinking about how they spend their attention. So if you haven't thought about it yet, just drop a not yet. If you've started to think about it, just put started. And if you haven't thought about it at all until now, just put I'm going to, or going to, or something like that. Okay? So trust me, this is going to be a very key one. And then one other quick thing I'm going to leave with you all. For those of you that are new inside of this group, I'm typically only on live for about 15 to 20 minutes. But one thing that I do want to leave with you, because in corporate, you all are making your exit for a reason. And it likely is a combination of reasons, to be honest with you. And you probably can be honest with yourself. It's likely a combination of reasons. One, there probably is just some simple frustration, either with the politics or being overlooked, or just knowing you have these brilliant ideas and things that will make a difference and then not coming to life and feeling shackled. And the other side of it could just be, man, I know I'm made for more, but what am I doing? Like this God-given talent and this is what I'm doing, right? You can be in any combination of that. When we talk about paying your attention and keeping your now, next, and later, I almost want you to write this down for yourself and keep it in your purse, right? Your purse, your pocketbook, your wallet, whatever you carry in your pocket. What's now, what's next, what's later, and where am I going to pay my attention? Because often when we get sucked up in the things that we already aren't a fan of, and we already can't wait to get out of corporate because, oh my gosh, I did this, and can you believe this happened? And they talked to me this way, and who do they think they are? And I told them that a long time ago, and now they're realizing it. Listen, I can only say this because I have been there, I have done it, I have said it, Lord knows. And every time we go down that hole, our mental energy goes with it. We take a piece of our mental energy that we could be using and investing into our next and our later, and we spend it in the now. because it's frustrating and you're mad about it and you want things to be different and you let your energy go that way. So be mindful of this, okay? So go ahead and write that down. And that's pretty much all that I have for you all today. If you, though, before you jump off this live, if you are going to be writing this down for yourself to keep it somewhere, purse, pocketbook, laptop bag, whatever, and again, that's ask yourself what's now, next, and later. Let's say that today. What's now, next, and later, and where am I paying my attention? If you're going to do it, just drop a I am in the chat. Just I am. If you're planning to do it, drop an I am in the chat. Okay, so that's all I have today. Have a wonderful evening. Have a wonderful week. Those of you new to this community, even if you come and watch on replay, #replay, and the folks that are around you are looking to make their exit too. They're looking to jump into freedom. So take the opportunity to raise your hand, ask questions. Has anybody been here before? Anybody seen this? I feel this way today. That type of thing. That's what a community is for. So, see you again next week and have a wonderful week. See you later.